Modern Horizons 2 spoilers are finally trickling its way down to the very last scraps, but those scraps contain some beautiful pieces of meat that we're going to talk about today in this spoiler video. Welcome back to my channel. I am Mattcaster Mage, and I do make Magic the Gathering content every single day. So if you want to join in on the action, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're actually notified of future uploads, because sometimes people will be subscribed to me, then they'll get unsubscribed, and then they won't see my videos in their browse features or any of their homepage because, you know, they're not getting notified. So hit that bell notification if you are subscribed to the channel as well. Okay, with that being said, these spoilers are really kind of trickling its way out. Usually what'll happen when a set gets spoiled is all the hype spoilers, all the best spoilers, you know, they're usually within the first couple of days, and then after it's just a lot of filler stuff, a lot of filler uncommons and commons. But no, not this time. We actually do have some exciting things to talk about today, but we're actually going to start the list off with an uncommon, and it's called Raktos Headliner. It is a creature devil for 2, 1 black, 1 red. It's a 3/3 haste creature with echo. So you discard a card at the beginning of your upkeep. If this came under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its echo cost. So you kind of have to pay 4 mana in the end because you have to pay its echo cost. But, you know, 2 mana for a haste creature, you know, this is something that you could play, like, if you're already close to, like, defeating your opponent, like, let's say they're at the last 3 life or something. This could be a good card to throw into maybe a really aggro burn deck, maybe like a Raktos burn or like a Raktos, maybe prowess deck. But either way, I think it's something I could see some play in Modern. Now, this next card is crazy. When I saw this, I was like, no way. I actually had to text my brother, who also plays Magic, and I let him know. I said, hey, did you know they have Soul Ring in Magic now? In Modern? Did you know Soul Ring it came to Modern? And he was like, what? And then I showed him the card and he's like, well, it's not quite Soul Ring. And that's true, it's not quite Soul Ring. It's not as good as Soul Ring. I don't think they could get away with, you know, it would be banned in an instant if they had Soul Ring in Modern. But they do have basically Soul Ring with the suspend ability. So you suspend for 3 turns for 1 mana, and then at the end of 3 turns you can have this enter the battlefield, and essentially it just acts as a Soul Ring. You can keep tapping it for 2 colorless. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a card that is going to see play in, like, Tron decks, maybe. It could see play in Urza, you know, maybe it could even see play in Eldrazi Tron. But where my mind actually went was, well, you know, they banned Mox Opal, right? And ever since, Affinity's never really had, like, a corner, like that card that you can build the deck around. And this could be something that I could see Affinity playing. I mean, yes, you have to wait 3 turns on Affinity's an aggro deck, but you know what? I could see this card being introduced into a newer Affinity deck because, remember, we are having right now a lot of spoilers with cards with the Affinity ability. Now, there's a lot of cards that are already in the toolkit for Affinity. Why not throw this in there and see what happens? It's something that I'm excited about. I might test things out if I do get a playset of this and throw it in my Affinity deck, replace the Mox Opals, and then see if this actually can work. I mean, it's definitely slower, but adding 2 mana is pretty powerful. You know, if you can cast this turn 1, if you're you know, on the draw, I don't know. It could be an interesting ability. We also have another card, Inevitable Betrayal. This is a sorcery, a rare sorcery with suspend as well, but you suspend for 1 colorless and 2 blue. So search your target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card onto the battlefield under your control, then that player shuffles. So really powerful for any control build. And now, yeah, it is 3 mana, but 3 mana to take their most powerful creature and then throw it into, you know, onto the battlefield under your control. Now I can see this being played more as like a sideboard card, you know, because you don't know what deck you're pairing up against. But if you are pairing against a deck that has like very powerful creatures, maybe an Eldrazi deck or maybe a Tron deck or something like that, and you want to get, you know, their Wormcoil Engine or something, or their Ulamog, you could take that out of their deck, you know, put it onto the battlefield under your control. I think this could be a very powerful ability for, you know, especially control decks, maybe Esper control, Azorius control, but I can't imagine this not seeing play. We have Blossoming Calm as another card. It's an instant for 1, and you gain Hexproof until end of turn, and you gain to life. And this card also has Rebound as well. Now I could see this card being played maybe in some control decks, but mostly I can see it being played maybe in Boggles. But I still think it's a card worth mentioning. It's an uncommon for 1 mana. It's an instant. It has a great ability of giving you hexproof until end of turn. You know, it's also a good defense against any sort of burn deck that's trying to like do direct damage to you. You can just cast this card, gain life, which, you know, playing against a burn deck, you know, that's the thing that they hate the most. You know, is an opponent that's gaining life. You gain that life and you give yourself hexproof till end of turn. Very powerful ability. Okay, and then the last card I want to talk about is a card called Fury. This is crazy. This is an elemental incarnation mythic, 3 colorless and 2 red with double strike. Now, when Fury enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage, divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers, and it has Evoke, so you can exile a red card from your hand. Wow. Okay, so 3/3, essentially it's going to be a 6/6 beater with double, you know, if you include the double strike in there. You know, it is a mythic, so, you know, you're not going to be able to pull a lot of these in a box. Now, it's not going to be the most powerful mythic in this set for sure, and I don't know if it's actually going to see, you know, modern play, but it's definitely going to see play in Commander. Now, crazy. I just can't believe the spoilers we got, especially the Soul Ring, you know, kind of coming into Modern. It's obviously not a Soul Ring, but it's the closest thing you're probably going to get to that in Modern. Very powerful in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of the spoilers today down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to read them. And with that being said, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Man, these spoilers. You know, we're almost out of the woods. We're not quite there yet, but, you know, I'm just blown away by these spoilers, and it looks like we're almost done. So, you know, maybe I'll have one more spoiler video to go, and that's going to be it. Or maybe, you know, I won't even do any more if there's no real crazy cards to talk about. But hopefully there is at least one more, you know, gem in there as well. All right. Back to work. Being a patron will help me produce more market movers and add to the funds that I will use for my random buys, and also to my coffee fund, because I drink a lot of coffee for these videos. And here you can see a link below in the description that will give you all the tiers and what you get in each tier. So I hope you guys click and think about joining. And with that, I'll see you next video. Think about supporting the channel in that way. If not, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will see you again in the next video.